Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Time Smart Teaching. Today, even though I'm on holiday in sunny Florida, I want to speak to you about curriculum intent. Unless you've been hiding under a shell, I'm sure you've been hearing this buzzword pretty much everywhere recently. And it's to do with Ofsted's new framework about how they're assessing schools. So the good thing is that Ofsted are kind of moving away from looking at the results of your school as a formation of their judgment, and they're looking to what you're teaching in your curriculum, why you're teaching those things, and how effectively you are teaching those things. And as usual, when Ofsted change something, it usually means there's a lot of new paperwork coming our way as teachers. So I've been thinking about how we can make that as painless and as quick as possible. So I'm going to share with you my little map here, my little curriculum intent map. If I can get this, show you this here. Okay. So it's a tree basically. So it's a tree with 3 strands or 3 trunks, and each of these represents a key curriculum element that runs through geography. So I'm using geography as an example here. So I don't know how good you are reading back to front, but the first trunk says global citizenship. The one in the middle says, I can't even read that myself backwards. It says sustainability, and we've got understanding places. Sorry, I got the second one wrong. The second one is employability skills. So with geography, we teach lots of skills, fieldwork skills, data analysis, numeracy skills, graph analysis, graph reading, map reading. All these things are really great transferable skills, and we have to appreciate that our students, when they're older, they're going to be working a lot in the gig economy. So if you're not really that sure about the gig economy, it just basically means that someone's not going to have a job for life. It means they might be doing different contracted work for different people. And so for geography, the ability to teach these skills, lots of transferable skills in the workplace, is really, really important. So that's why I've chosen one of those for the strands. Similarly, we've got sustainability and global citizenship as a strand, because all the things that we do now, we're an interconnected economy. All of our actions, all of our choices, they'll impact somewhere else. So that's why I've chosen that second strand. And then the last one is to do with understanding places. So geography is a place-based subject. And so I've chosen that because that's really broad and it will encompass virtually everyone's geography program. So if you have a little look closer, I'm just going to zoom in a bit here. What I've got is I've got some leaves coming off my 3 strands here. Okay, so each of those leaves has got a year group on it. So Y7 for year 7, a leaf for Y8 for year 8, year 9, 10 and 11, and one for A1 and A2 if you teach A level. So what's really important is that the whole document is going to cut across all of your key stages, so key stage 3 and key stage 4 and key stage 5 if you have that, because really we just want one document, one piece of paper, okay, to cover the whole of your curriculum intent. We don't want to be wasting lots of time doing one of these for year 7, one for year 8, one for year 9 and so on. So this piece of paper gets everything in, okay? So that's why it's really important to have 3 broad strands in which everything else in your curriculum can tie into really easily. So basically you could fill in these little leaves just to show like an individual topic or maybe a lesson that ties in nicely to these 3 strands. So I've just done a couple here. So I'll talk about one of the leaves. So in year 7 we focus a lot on something called travel journalism. So we basically teach kids how to write using the 5 senses, and we focus on travel journalism writing on a place called Svalbard. And that travel journalism skill they do actually revisit in later years as well. And so it's basically giving them an employability skill at the same time. They're learning how to write for a particular audience, for people who are traveling or to persuade people who are going to be going on holiday. So that's the first strand. I've given a couple of other examples there as well about global citizenship and how we need to make sure that we are acting sustainably, we are not wasting resources. So when people leave school and they leave geography, it's not just about them getting that really good GCSE result. It's about them being citizens that are taking care of the planet, about people who are making wise choices, who are recycling, who are reducing waste, who are mindful about how much they buy, what resources they buy, hoping that maybe they will choose fair trade products where they can. So it's about developing the whole person as a global citizen rather than just teaching them content towards their GCSE. So that's my idea of how you could do a curriculum map. I've seen some other really excellent ones going around, little journeys, like learning journeys online. I'm quite a visual learner, so that's why I like to draw things out. I know Ofsted want to see evidence of curriculum intent in books. So perhaps, you know, this could be photocopied down to like an A5 size. It could be put in books. Again, it's the same one for all year groups. Perhaps this could be blown up and put on display in your classroom, so that when you're introducing your lesson or your learning objective, you could quickly refer to these 3 strands or one of these in your lesson, so that you're showing anyone who's observing, this is how my lesson fits into the curriculum intent. You could even put a copy of this on your school website, for example, because I know lots of schools like to put their curriculum on there anyway. And so, yeah, that's my little take on how I would map out my curriculum intent on one piece of paper. If anyone's got some other good examples, please put them in the links below. Tell me how you're doing it. Help everybody out so we're not all reinventing the wheel, or not all reinventing the intent. And so we're learning from each other. So that's it from me from sunny Florida. I'm going back to the parks later. I hope you've all had a fantastic half term. And yeah, and that your next half term to Easter goes smoothly. Take care of yourselves. Bye.